How's your painting?
I'm doing good.
You had a big smile on your face.
Harold Davis lived quietly with his grandmother in a modest Texan house, where Star Trek marathons and art supplies were constants, and Sundays were for sketching dreams. At 43, he'd made peace with routines, but beneath that peaceful surface, his heart ached for something deeper, romance that transcended small talk, a connection woven with sincerity, not superficial expectations. He flipped through his sketchbook, a collage of inventions and quiet fantasies, and paused on one drawing, a girl holding a little dog. Her smile was soft, eyes bright. Harold traced the lines, fingertips trembling. She wasn't real, yet. But maybe, across oceans, someone like that could be. With trembling hope, he booked a trip, this time to Singapore. The first journey ended in heartbreak, as his love in Prague, Michaela, fell ill and their connection unraveled. But Harold remained certain that somewhere, someone awaited his earnest affection. The airport felt suspended in possibility. Harold hugged his grandmother tightly. She whispered, "You'll know when she's the one," and patted his back gently. On the plane, Harold doodled futuristic hand-held kites on his notebook, something playful for his next date. When the flight landed, he felt strangely full of nerves and excitement. This mission couldn't be half-hearted. Waiting for him at customs was Dolly, his matchmaker, poised, professional, and perceptively kind. "Ready for love?" she asked, and Harold managed a breathy, "Yes." They met over coffee in a softly lit cafe. Dolly introduced him to Lena, a warm, thoughtful woman who shared his love for anime and art. Their conversation was easy, unhurried. Lena listened attentively when Harold shared how autism made reading tone and timing tricky, and didn't recoil or rush him. Across the table, Lena laughed softly, sharing her own quirks. Harold exhaled, amazed, someone not just tolerating him, but curious. For the first time in a long while, he felt seen. One evening, they wandered through Singapore's glowing streets, lanterns reflecting in canal waters. In the hush between them, Harold gathered courage. He talked about heartbreak, about longing for a partner who doesn't dismiss his spaces, but honors them. Lena's smile was gentle. "You're brave," she said. "Bravery is speaking honestly." They held hands, not in stiffness, but in wonder. Harold's heart whispered, "Maybe this feels like home." At a graceful park by the bay, Dolly arranged a kite flying date, an exercise in simple teamwork. Lena smiled as the kite rose. Harold's face lit with joy as they guided it together. When it twirled free, she caught it, heart pounding. Afterward, they sat on the grass. Harold whispered the truth. "I'm autistic. I need someone who can be patient." Lena squeezed his hand. "I want to learn with you," she replied. Her eyes weren't recoiling, they were steady, kind, curious. Yet Harold noticed the quiet shift. Lena pulled back slightly. She admitted gently, "I want us to connect, but true chemistry. I'm still unsure." Harold nodded, crushing disappointment and relief in equal measure. He'd thought he'd healed from the Prague heartbreak, but these feelings stirred old fears. In a moment of longing, he imagined digging out a ring after 2 dates, hoping the spark wasn't just his own flame. Dolly told him gently, "Love isn't a blueprint. It builds in time, not leaps." But Harold tensed. An hour felt like a week when you're waiting to belong. Yet, he waited. He learned. And he felt something tender. For the first time, careful hope instead of all-consuming infatuation. One evening, away from cameras, Harold learned what shook him. Michaela had fallen ill with ovarian cancer just after filming, and the long-distance silence was never indifference, but survival. He paused, breath heavy. Then, the urge to care took over. He created a GoFundMe. He wrote a message of love through tears. "I wish it had been different," he whispered. "You changed me." Back in Singapore, Harold refused to close off. He met Lena again. This time, there was space, room to breathe, unfold. They cooked together, teaching each other favorite dishes. They watched a Star Trek holodoc and laughed when their favorite lines synced. Days blurred into soft patterns of trust. Though Lena hinted the spark was still forming, there was gentleness there, a shared rhythm, a willingness. As his trip wound down, Harold knew choices loomed. Do you chase clarity, or leave on hope? At the airport, Lena hugged him, warm and simple. "I want to keep getting to know you," she said. Harold's throat constricted. He whispered, "I want that too." And he knew, not everything had to be defined to be real.